Jason.
Yeah.
What's 5 plus 7?
12.
Times 2.
24.
Minus 4.
20.
That's what we're talking about today.
Welcome to the Utah Real Estate Show podcast, the show where two agents and a lender teach real estate best practices by talking through mistakes we've seen and made.
You keep talking about buying something when you're 20. How is that possible? Because I feel like the odds are stacked against me and I am swimming up current.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Utah Real Estate Show. I am Tyler Kazare, Utah Real Estate Agent.
Extraordinaire. Jason Christiansen, mortgage lender.
Aric Wist, Utah Real Estate Agent.
Esquire.
In today's episode, we are talking about the whole world being stacked against you because you're 20 years old, and in real estate, in a lot of ways, that's true. But we're going to start with story time with Aric.
Gotta love those stories. So, I've had a few people reach out to me lately that are all 20 years old, give or take a couple of years. The most recent one is 20. And he said, hey, I've been following you on social media and your guys' show. You keep talking about buying something when you're 20. How is that possible? Because I feel like the odds are stacked against me and I am swimming up current.
So the odds are not really in their favor?
No.
Like a popular show that we've all...
Yeah.
No, may they be, but they're not.
May they be,
and that's true. That's accurate. There's things they need to work on.
Right. So let's talk about the first thing here. The first thing, no matter how you stack up the rest of this episode and the advice that you're about to get, the first thing that you need is desire. You got to have a desire to formulate a plan and figure out what you're going to do and have this freedom.
This is a principle of life.
Yeah.
Pick something you want.
Parenting by the Utah Real Estate Show. Right, but so the desire, okay, I mean, you can talk all day about desire, but desire is the first step. If you have that desire, you can follow the principles that you're about to hear in the rest of this episode to give you a leg up on how to get started in real estate. Okay, the first thing that desire is going to lead you to do is consistency. And we're going to talk about this over and over and over in the next few things that we talk about, because it's going to take the discipline to go through whatever it is you're working on and be consistent about it. You can't just once and done this
Your
stuff.
present self needs to have more willpower than... No, I said that wrong. Your future self needs to have more willpower over your present self, because your present self wants to buy the thing and go play the game and do the something.
We'll just relate it back to, sports, everybody gets. Okay? Why does any sport team practice consistently?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's consistent.
Compound effect.
They talk about the desire to win a state championship or a Super Bowl or whatever it is, but they practice the same plays, they practice the same catches, the same runs, the same this, the same that. So now just change that over and go, well, I want to buy a home when I'm 20.
Right.
How do I do that?
So here's the real problem. You're starting out when you're 20 without any credit, typically. And credit, they want to see consistency. They want to see the same thing happening over and over and over. So the best thing you can do is when you're 18, get a credit card.
I did this for my 18-year-old.
Yeah.
He was actually 17 at the time.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
Because a 17-year-old can't get a credit card because they're not legal age to enter into a contract. So it's unenforceable.
Right.
So if you can have an adult co-sign with someone younger than 18, then you can start then. But at 18, if this is you and this is what you want to do, 18, get a credit card. Best time to get a credit card is 18. Second best time is today. So, and the reason you want to get a credit card is because it is an open-ended line of credit. Credit is continually extended to you, and you continually have to keep that in check. So
they just can go run out and buy everything and not worry about it, right?
Yeah, and then you can start over when you're 30.
Yep.
Exactly.
So a credit card is better than an auto loan and better than a student loan because it's open-ended. Because every month you have that chance. Okay, so you're going to go out and you're going to use a portion of it and you're going to pay it off in full. Now there's some really popular, and like in our other video on credit, there's personalities that say no debt. Well, here's the game. Here's that deal. You have to play the game to play the game.
Yep.
So get a credit card. Get one that has good rewards. Use it. Pay it off every month. Don't buy it unless you have the money. Pay it off. If you can, keep your balance to 25% of your limit and cycle it that way. They're talking about the new FICO 10 credit model, which will show not just what's accrued this last month, but what your history has been. So
if that all sounded like gibberish, contact a lender.
Yes, and I want to relate that back to it even before going and jumping to a credit card, because obviously, if you're the one that doesn't have a credit card or whatnot, contact the lender, because this desire to go big and to buy a home and to purchase something, I mean, today's average price home here in Utah, I mean, you're looking at $500,000.
Yeah.
Or just under that. And so that's going to blow a lot of people's minds right off the bat. Go talk to a lender and find out where your starting point is at, because everybody is going to have a different starting point. Yeah. You might be able to purchase something because you did stuff at this point.
Or your parents, without telling you, made you an authorized user on their card.
You're welcome.
He's pretty smart on some of these things.
So what happens there is all of his history gets added to his daughter's card, or daughter's credit history.
It was beautiful, and we were able to. She didn't have to start with like a $250 credit limit. Her first credit card she got about a year after she was on my card. And because she had a massive credit line associated with mine and very, very little utilization, her first credit card, I think, came out of the chutes and was like, we'll give you $2,500 credit. And for an 18-year-old with $2,500 credit, that's really
Do we want to
dangerous.
double dip a little bit into the credit?
Yeah.
So here's the thing, like that history. So 35% of your credit score is based upon history. 30% is how you're using that, and then you've got like 10% to like how varied it is and stuff like that. So the best thing you can do is get some history and don't max it out.
Right. And right up over here in the screen, you will see a video that you should click on right now. We'll make sure our editor puts that in there, to go back and watch the credit thing.
When you talk to your lender, check and see how much money you need to make the payment. Because one of the most disheartening things I have happen is someone comes in and they think they make good money, and they find out how much a house payment is, and their hopes and dreams are crushed. Yeah.
So when you get that sticker shock or the rent shock or the payment shock,
there's an easy way to prevent it.
Yeah, and it's make a plan. Start before you're actually ready to do that, because the biggest thing when you are 20 and you're doing this, you're really the 1%er of your generation, of your age group.
Yeah.
Especially right now, because I mean, a lot of the people who I know that are almost turning 30 are just now looking into buying their first home.
Yeah.
And so at 20 years old, you go be that 1%er. Start that desire, and then you continue to go with that, and you start looking at paying yourself rent, paying yourself what that payment will be, and you start building up that down payment, because you're going to need 3 to 5%. You don't need 20% like it used to be.
Well, and you can do zero down, but if you find a place that can do zero down and you have 5% down, yippee, get yourself new furniture.
Yeah. And then that plan of when you talk to a lender and he said, okay, you're here, and then that desire kicks in and go, well, I want to be here fast. Okay, this is what I need to do. Maybe I won't wait to buy the home by myself for another 2 years. Sure. Maybe I'll go get a business partner.
Get your buddy.
A buddy, a friend. You can write, we've helped several people write contracts, JVs, joint ventures together to go buy a home with an exit strategy in a few years to then get both of them started. And then they end up renting out a few rooms to their friends, the ones who are out buying the Audis and the BMWs because they can still afford.
They can't get a house, but they can afford
a house. But they got to sleep somewhere.
Exactly.
And so here comes the 1%er kid and it's like, hey, BMW, you got a nice car. You can drive me around. You can stay in my room and pay me to stay in my room.
Yeah. And then if you look at that when you're 20, by the time that most people are buying their first home in 30, you could legitimately own 5 homes.
Easy. And it sounds crazy, but honest to goodness, like
not buy 5 homes and keep selling them.
Own 5 homes.
Continue to own 5 homes.
Yeah. I got a kid I helped on his second mortgage, and his home right now. He's just barely finishing the basement. Once he finishes the basement, he will live in his home and receive more rent in the home he lives in than his mortgage payment.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and you do that for a year or so. You refinance, take a HELOC out, or do something, and then you go and use that money to buy another one.
Yep.
And then you buy another one.
And the house is more than
and
self-sufficient.
you buy another one.
So for all those parents who are watching this, hoping that their kid does this, your kids are going to live in your basement for free, or they could live in their own basement
for free.
That's true. You should, if you're a parent watching this, point them over to Jason to go have a conversation. Point them over to Aric or me, and let's have a conversation about how to help your kids launch.
Well, not only are you getting the peace and quiet that you wanted, you are providing your kids with retirement.
Yeah.
So you're helping them out.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for something better. And then if they actually catch that dream to continue on to be an investment specialist across the world, I mean, honestly, the sky's the limit. And that's where it starts at the beginning of, you got to have that desire, because that's the beauty of real estate, is it can go so many directions and open up endless opportunities.
So what do we learn?
Well, you need to be consistent. You need to be able to consistently use your willpower to intentionally do things to bring about your plan.
It's important to know that you need to start credit early and figure out what kind of payments you want.
Remember that you can be the 1%er of your age group.
Bob, how do we get Travis to move out of our basement?
Well, Pam, I've been following this really cool podcast. I think we should have him like and subscribe to the Utah Real Estate Show. Comment below.
That sounds amazing.
If you want to get in touch with us, shoot us a text at 801-228-7687. Make sure you mention the show. You can email us at theutahrealestateshow@gmail.com. You can watch this show on YouTube, and you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you learned something, or if you really love this show, give us a like on YouTube and drop a rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. The Utah Real Estate Show is a production of Hive Collective at Presidio Real Estate, with support from Security Home Mortgage. The NMLS number for Security Home Mortgage is 178787. The NMLS number for Jason Christiansen is 240472, Equal Housing Lender. Not only is this not legal or investment advice, but you should definitely talk to a pro before you make any real estate decision. Every situation is different and should be considered in context. Copyright Jason Christiansen, Aric Wist, and Tyler Kazare. All rights reserved. Talk to you next week.
I'm 20.
You're 20?
And
No, you are not 20. You are double
That's what
that.
we're talking about.
Silverback.
How old are you, Tyler?
Is that how we're gonna start this?
Yeah, let's start this that way.
No.
Hey, Tyler. Wait, actually, genuine question. Who's older?
That's how my dad used to do. I thought my dad would, I thought there was some special formula that, because he'd always come in and he's like, Tyler, what's 2 plus 7? 9 times 2, 18 divided by 3, 6 plus 4, 10. That's your age. And I'm like,
that's your
I'm like, oh my gosh, he's right. I was probably seriously probably 13 or 14 years old before I figured out he didn't have some special formula.
He's just rolling with it.
Yeah, he would just
I'm going to totally do this to my kids now.
That's what you want to do.
These guys.
But you should make a plan.
You should make a plan on how to do this video before we do the video.
So, honey bunches, I've got the long flowing locks, of course.
Well, the woman usually wears the scarf, right?
Oh man, there it is.
It's true. Tyler, I tried.
Okay,
I had it.
No, I got this. Steve, how are we going to get Jason to move out?
Well, Pam, I think we could convince him to buy his own place.